What's up, you wild tigers? Hero episode number 42. And this one's a different one. This one's about the shadow. It's probably the biggest enemy you'll ever have to face as a hero. And it's not very portrayed well in movies. And when it is, it's really a cool sight to see. It's done in the game Arkham Knight. Spider-Man 3 has one where you face your own shadow. It's all about darkness, and even I've experienced this. And we'll start off this episode by me explaining that. So in August, I came face to face with my shadow. I didn't like it. I hated it. I was disgusted, and I went full beta week. I didn't accept my shadow. I didn't realize that all I've become is also a combination of myself, a shadow. I wanted to destroy it, and so I did. And it took a couple months. It took a long time for me to accept that I must live with this shadow. And nowadays, I've reached the point where I feel like the shadow is consuming me, and it's not a good fight. It's for the first time in my 4 or 5 years where I feel as if I'm not doing what I should be doing, or I'm not living up to my potential. And you know, it's not a great feeling. It's not. Because this shadow of myself isn't perfect, isn't something I want. My shadow is probably the weakest of myself. The stuff I labeled in my book that's coming out soon explains some things that I've done that I'm never proud of. Things that I really don't want people knowing, but I want people to know because it's the truth. It's parts of me I'm scared of. I think anybody would. It's something really dark and scary, and if we don't accept our own faults and our own failures and our weaknesses, then how can we improve? And the shadow also signifies just the evil, and that we can cause evil, but we know as heroes, as people who want to do good for the world, that you can commit the same evil and you understand the same evil, but you know when to use it, when to not use it. You know when to be kind, but you know that the world is evil, so you know, instead of having a face of naive, you have a face of knowing, there's no more ignorance. You just understand. You're like, I know what you can do, and you can't fool me. You can't play games with me. It's a face of somebody who's been through hell and back, and he still got that lighthearted self because they know the world's evil, but doesn't mean they have to change who they are. They just understand that things can happen, and the world is going to be a dark and evil place. And as this keeps happening, I understand the darkness of the world in my life, and it's never really bothered me. In fact, it's made me more do what I do. But you have to be disciplined. You have to be strong to fight this darkness. It's going to be the strongest villain you ever fight. If you're not ready to face it, it will come and destroy you, annihilate you, beat you to your knees and keep you there if you let it. But we all know we're not like that. We're going to get up and we're going to keep fighting. But the shadow, it lurks and comes and goes, especially if you've ever been addicted to anything. I mean, I've been addicted to pleasure more than you can imagine. And the fact that I've neglected pleasures and short-term and pain and accepted pain and suffering, I feel like it's made my shadow win more. And it's accepted, and basically I've allowed myself to do things I don't normally do or would do. It's a shame. It's an internal struggle to fight. I don't know if anybody else ever had this problem. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. But I want to let you know something. It makes you stronger than you can imagine. It makes you see the world in ways you can't imagine. And if you let it, it can show you the wonders of the world. But the world will fight back. The world is evil and conniving, and it will screw you over. But the world's also beautiful and good and full of life. As heroes, we must understand that no matter what, there's a never-ending battle between the shadow and us. And if you let it, if you win, you can let the shadow fight for you. But if the shadow wins, remember, this doesn't always equal good and kindness. So the difference between Batman and Superman. Batman is he's basically a shadow. He is a shadow, but he's a good shadow. But Superman's a goody two-shoes Boy Scout. But they have different moral lines, different boundaries, different ways of doing their job. And you can see it in the Batman. It's scarier, more fierce, more dark. That is a shadow we must conquer. And it won't be easy. You're gonna have to fight yourself, you fight your mind, you have to win psychologically. You have to think out and figure out your ideologies. You have to find out why you do what you do. What are your words? What are your questions you say to yourself? How will you win this? It's about a life and death. It's about winning your mind. Your mind will try to beat you, but your mind is your greatest weapon. Your habits will build, and if you build them up and they have chains on you, you won't feel them until they have the chains. And once they have the chains, they're gonna be hard to break. You have to master your own mind, your own life. It's not gonna be easy. Never is. But it's worth fighting for in the end. And sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice so much. You have to go through hell. But it's like Hercules. You go through the underworld to get back the love. You have to go through hell to get to what you want. And if you're already in hell, just keep going. Why not? Become one with your shadow. Accept your shadow. Embrace your shadow. Embrace the shadow of the world. Learn that it's not all evil. We just need you to be tougher, stronger. Laugh at yourself. Be confident. Stand up straight. Tell the truth. Don't lie. Let people be courageous. Speak what you have to say. Don't be afraid of what people are going to tell you, to judge you. Wonder what you're going to say. Wonder how they're going to react. No, just say what you have to say and speak it loudly. You are a force to be reckoned. Let your shadow be strong in the face of adversity. Your shadow isn't your weakest link, it's your strongest adversary. It will make you a better person if you can accept it, or it can destroy you if you don't. Life won't always be pretty. It won't be sunshines and rainbows. Things will happen. You'll lose people. Times will happen. Life will hurt you, beat you. But remember, you know there's a shadow. You know there's darkness. But you know that through darkness, through the tunnel, there will always be a light at the end. And if there isn't one, make one. And if you can't make one, then you've given up. And just remember, there's always an answer. Somebody will come. But you have to actively find a way out. You have to actively find a way out of your situation, your hole, your shadow. And you have to find a way to the light. Up the hole, rise. Rise again and live again. And be reborn into the true you, the one who's gone through everything, the one who's been through and discovered himself. Done.